Hello and welcome everyone back to my channel. Welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. Today I'm going to continue the Pro Tip series. This is going to be Pro Tip number 4, and it's going to be about how to effectively level your gear and thoughts on, specializing your gear. So first thing we want to talk about when we're talking about leveling your gear is the types of gear that you can get. You have the ability, and let me go to my inventory. That's probably a better place to really look at it. When you're looking at gear, now that we have a filter ability on the inventory tab, you can see that you have different rarity levels of gear. You have what's called a common. You can see where it says common underneath the stats there. And then if you go on down in your list, you'll start to see gear that's kind of a colored light blue or silver looking option. And what those are is those are the epics. And then you have another rarity of gear that's called legendary, and that would be like the yellow looking background and border on your gear. Unfortunately, I don't have a piece of that gear to show you because there's very limited ways that you can attain that right now. So sadly, I don't have one of those pieces to show you. But so basically you need to understand that you have, at this time, I'm pretty sure about this, there's only 3 quality levels of gear, or rarity levels: common, epic, and legendary. So another thing that you have to know about your gear is the type of class that it's designed for. Obviously, when you go to equip gear on your hero, you'll see that in the upper left-hand corner of the gear itself, it'll have a little icon that tells you what class it is for. Like this shield right here. You'll see that it's for a strategist because it has the little eye in the upper left-hand corner. Now, that's something you want to pay attention to because that is the type of gear for the strategist hero class. There's lots of different strategists. I think in some of the parties that I've built, I think that's the most popular one that I have in my party builds right now is strategist. So that's usually the type of gear I'm always farming, is strategists, trying to get those good drops. But that's one thing you want to keep in mind. And then you also want to keep in mind what's called the subclass on the gear. If you'll look, you'll see the class is Mender, and then you have a subclass of Court Mender on this piece. The reason why that's there is because the heroes also have a subclass. And let's just look at one of them. Daenerys right here, my Daenerys. She has a strategist class, and then she also has a idealist subclass. Now you see my gear, I've been lucky enough to get 4 pieces out of the 5 in the idealist subclass. What that does for me is if you look at the bonus on your gear, it gives you a subclass bonus of 15% to the power of the item towards the character. So that's really beneficial when you're thinking about trying to maximize your gear. You need to farm until you get all of the pieces in the particular subclass, okay? That's going to make you way more powerful than you would normally be if you just had random class gear on for that class. So one of the things you want to keep in mind is that, and then also the subclass, and then also something else that you really want to keep in mind is that you need to be progressing and leveling up your gear as much as possible. So if we look at this shield that I have right here, you see the upgrade button on the one that I have equipped, the Faithful Protector. If I tap that, then I can use other pieces of gear to put towards leveling that particular piece. It is going to cost food. So however much food you have is basically how much you can level that piece of gear. Right now you can see that I can only put 4 of those dog faces and 3 of the dog ears onto that piece of gear because that's how much food I have available. But you can see that it raises the attack power of that gear that it gives the character by 54. So that's a good upgrade right there, and I'm going to take that. So now I've leveled that gear up to 19, you can see. Each piece of gear, as far as we can tell right now, has a maximum of 50 levels that can be applied. So you can see on this catalog of kings, I have the class and I have the subclass bonus, plus I have all of the stats maxed as far as I can to level 50 on this, and that's the best I can do with this item. There may be an item that's subclassed for her that has a little bit better stats. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet because everything else I've seen for her, like this Historic Fables, that's subclass to her, and yeah, that's it as far as the items that I have. They started out with about the same stats to start with, so I just picked the catalog of kings and I went with that at the start because that was the first one I had. Now, one other thing that's really key about your gear that I've kind of been thinking about that you need to pay attention to is the character and the gear synergy itself. What is that character designed to do for you, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Is that character designed to be your hitter, your striker? Are they designed to do the damage for you? Like Daenerys, for me, she has an attack that hits everyone, and obviously I want that to be as strong as possible. So that's why I focused on maxing her attack item first. I wanted to get all the stats and all the food that I could into leveling that attack power. So next for her, I will focus on, let's see if any of this gear has an attack power rating on it. Okay, this shield. So this shield is going to be the next thing I focus on for her because I want to get that attack power up as much as possible. So you can see it has an attack power of 1232. By the time I get it up to level 50, I don't know what it'll be, but it will be nice because it will be added to that bonus from her main attack weapon. And, you know, then I'm doing the most damage that I can with her, which is what I'm aiming to do with this character. If you have a healer, then you may want to think about focusing on defense so that you can keep that character alive long enough that they can benefit you with all those heals. Because if a healer is taking a dirt nap, then they're not healing you. So if you focus on the gear that provides them survivability, then maybe that's the thing. If you have a character like Ned Stark that's designed to be a super tank, then maybe you want to focus on defense and hit point on him so that he stays alive a long time and is difficult to deal with because he's hard to take down. So you got to think about the characters and what they're designed to do for you, and then focus your leveling efforts on your gear to synergize with that plan. Okay? So that's basically all I really wanted to get into today with maximizing the way you level your gear, because I want these videos to be short and quick, and this is just that one topic. So I appreciate you being here today. I appreciate you watching my content. And I do want to start throwing in this little thing here at the end of all my videos. A lot of people promote their YouTube channels and all that kind of stuff and say subscribe and like and all that. I don't really care about that because I'm not doing this to monetize. I'm doing this for fun. But what I am concerned about is my alliance. I want my alliance to grow and be stronger. So if you are a person that has over 200,000 power and you're interested in joining a house, hit me up, because I am looking for people to join my house that have over 200k power. That's why we have in our description 200k power required. I would entertain the idea of adding you to my house if you are that person. So, you know, if you're looking for a good house, a good alliance that has forward-looking plans that have, want to do top tier content, then think about joining us. If you want to join me, you can message me you can leave drop a comment on the video and let me know you're interested, and then I'll get in touch with you. Or you can message me on Discord, username Nemodius, capital N. So anyway, I just want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great day.